Hi, everyone. How's it going? Nothing happened behind the scenes. We're doing perfectly fine. Brandi, how are you today?
I think I'm doing better than you.
Oh, yeah. Let's just say if you work in broadcast news, don't change the schedule.
I
Anywho,
legit thought that you were going to end that with "Don't work in broadcast news."
also that. also
If
that.
you value
I
your health, don't do it.
Oh, your physical health. My body is failing me. It's just bad. But that's why I'm sitting in a chair podcasting, because it's not physically active. Woo. But you know who's out there? We got Louise X Sparrow giving us the thumbs up. Yes, sorry for the delay. I like to eat.
Food is
I,
important.
Sokka would be okay with it. But yes, we are back here. We're going to be talking about book 2 as a whole of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And we're going to do our rankings episode. You thought we were done with book 2 and could move on to book 3 after years, but no, we still have some wrap up stuff to do. And it's going to be really fun, actually, because we have a whole system. See, Brandi is a guru of herself when it comes to digital graphics. And so we have some fantastic graphics to show with this. So just giving credit where credit is due. Brandi, you're awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we got Rapunzel saying, guess someone's almost 30. Ooh, would that be you, Rapunzel?
I think she is saying that in relation to how your body's already failing you.
Oh, no.
I
I
don't
thought you
wanna
were saying
put
it was your birthday.
I don't want to put words in Rapunzel's mouth.
Rapunzel, if it is. 26, but I look perpetually 18. So it's that girlish charm. But yeah, so here's what we're gonna do, because this is another episode where we don't have to go with episode descriptions. So Brandi gets the week off for that.
Whew.
But we did create more work for you by having to put together our rankings. Each of us did a rankings of all the episodes. I did one, Brandi did one. We have 20 episodes this season.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yes. The graphic
And
right here.
I gotta say, I don't know, because I think I've said this before, season 2 is my favorite. Absolute favorite. Hands down. Love every single episode. So when I was making my list, I was like, I would write it out and then I would like reshuffle it and reshuffle it and reshuffle
No,
it and be like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yep. Well, because you have to get the initial list where all the episodes are on it, and then you're like, slide this
Yeah.
here, slide this here.
Mhm.
You can make a flow chart on the wall with string if you really wanted to.
Yeah. But
Oh,
like
and Rapunzel
season
was referring to my body falling
Yeah.
apart.
That's what I thought. I got you, Rapunzel. Season 1, I don't remember having that much trouble. Like season 1, I think
Yeah.
I'm pretty clear cut about like the episodes I like and the episodes I could care less about. But this one, I'm just like, oh, that one's so good, and that one's so good.
Well, yeah, and then you go back through and you're like, okay, these are all good, but what was like the worst thing about the good ones? And now it's just like micro analyzing Avatar: Last Airbender 2 in the morning, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, favorite things is hard when it's all good. Mm-hmm. That's like when people ask David Tennant what his favorite Doctor Who episode is. And he's just like, can he tell you that? Something like that. Excuse the Scottish.
I was about to say, I think you've done a better impersonation of him before. I was
I
like,
really have.
that one was a little weak, but you know what? That's
What do you
okay.
think you're doing?
It's a Monday. It's a Monday.
It is. It is Monday. Oh. It's fine. This week's gonna suck. That's why we're doing all the good stuff before it gets bad. Like this ranking. Brandi, shall we reveal our
Let's do it.
rankings? All right. So we have blocked out our top 3s because there has to be some mystery left in this world. But there are some very clear differences and some very clear matches. Avatar State for one.
Listen. Listen. It's the first episode of the season. And it's so bad. It is. Bad.
It's painful. Like, you guys come back from a hiatus. All the kids are hyped. They're like, oh yeah, Zula. Avatar State.
Avatar State. I don't know. It's just like the one good thing that I can say about the episode is that I do think that it does match tonally like where the season goes. Like this season, while not as like dark and deep as season 3, like it is a little bit darker and it gets heavier. So I think that that does something, but that's the one like nice thing that I can say about the episode.
Yeah.
I just don't think I don't think that it's very good. Even like the comedic bits, besides like Aang being hopped up on ginseng.
Yes.
Am I talking really loud? Because I can't tell.
Yeah. Literally me in any room I walk into. No, it's true. And it's like, it just, it doesn't leave a good taste in your mouth, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of bitter tasting, like, I didn't really be nice to Aang. You have to be nice to him. He's literally could kill you in a second. So why are you doing this? But yeah, I'm not a fan.
This is,
but oh, go ahead.
No, well, I was just gonna say this is the one episode where you can just go, let's just keep on flying.
Skip, yeah, nice. I see what you did there. But I'm looking at the other ones, like bookending that, and Appa's Lost Days. They're similar. I have 14. You have 19. And we get to the chase, and yours is 18, and I'm 10. Anything in those 2 episodes that particularly push them down on the levels?
Here's the thing. Appa's Lost Days, when I'm doing a rewatch, and I only watch it when I do a complete season rewatch. Like, it's never an episode that I'm like, oh, I'll just pick it, And even when I'm doing my season rewatch, it's heavy to pick up.
Yeah.
Like, I think the story is really good, and like the episode again is good. Like, I don't think you can, besides the Avatar state, you can't say anything bad about these episodes. But this one, for me personally, like sometimes it's a chore to watch, and so that's why it's low.
See, that's why I put the desert where I did. Because it feels like that's that mentality of like, I'm doing a rewatch. I don't want to watch this one because it's going to make me so like just sad. Which, I mean, that doesn't bode well for Appa's Lost Days. But I think the reason I put it a little bit higher was because of D. Bradley Baker's performance as Appa. And being able to convey so much emotion with just grunts. Like, as an aspiring voice actress, that really is epic. So, got some bonus points.
Yeah, no, and it's still a good episode. And I think even the animation is really good because, like, even like you said, like Bradley D. Baker does really good, conveying emotions through just grunts. But like even the animation, I think we talked about when we did the episode, like how sad, like Appa's eyes look in certain ways and stuff like that, and how just like how he's being drawn is conveying a lot of emotion in Appa as well. So, still like a good episode. It's just
for
me, I'm like
it's heavier to pick up. Yeah. Oh, I also like how we both put Lake Laogai in the not dead last, but also not high up.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. I was shocked, like as I was reshuffling mine, that Lake Laogai fell where it did. Because if somebody asked me, I would have been like, yeah, like the last 5 episodes or so of season 2 are some of my favorite. And then like as I was stacking them, I was like, oh, they're actually a little bit lower.
Yeah. No, I think I started out with that around 11, and then it just kept sliding and sliding. It was like, I can't justify putting it higher because this one's better.
I think I originally had Lake Laogai in like 9 or 10, maybe even 8. And then as I was like really thinking about it and like stacking them, I was like, oh yeah, this one's not like, again, like it's good, but
a little tweak here, a little tweak there. Yeah, no, that's how I feel like my bottom 10 found their way into the bottom 10. Was just, I loved the other ones so much They aren't bad, but they well, Avatar State. But the other ones, they're just not quite up towards what I like. Which for us, Cave of Two Lovers is 13 for you. I have it at number 4.
Here's the thing. Cave of Two Lovers, great. Fantastic. Like, I think that it's a really funny episode. But the reason why it's lower is because when I was making like my top 10, I was really trying to think of like the storyline and like season 2 like as a theme and everything like that. So like
Okay.
I was I was trying to like put
Gotcha.
aside like the entertainment value. Besides Avatar Day is pure entertainment.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like that's why the Cave of Two Lovers comes down a bit for me because again, like it's just one of those filler episodes. Is it a great filler episode? Yes, it is. It has a lot of great Sokka moments. Who doesn't love the song? You know.
Secret tunnel.
But at the same time, it focuses like a little bit too much on like Aang and Katara's relationship, which I am never like when I think of Avatar, I never think about the relationships besides Sokka and Suki.
Yeah.
You know me.
Yeah.
But I never really think of the relationships. And so like I think that again is kind of like what pulled it lower down the list for me.
Gotcha. I think what pushed it up for me was the introduction of the Badger moles. And being able to see that kind of lore develop in the background. Like, you don't think about it during that episode, but it's like, wait a second, this ties into the Blind Bandit, which ties into and you see them all over this season. So I'm like, I like the Badger moles. I'll give you a bump up. And it's Sokka, the humor of Sokka. I'm very humor driven. Rapunzel says anything that gives us a sing-along earworm gets an automatic bump in the ratings. Indeed. And for those of you who are watching, I want to know what you guys think. For what would you say is your favorite episode of the season and your least favorite episode of the season? So you can see how hard it is.
That's very difficult.
Oh man, let's see, what else do we have here? This one shocked me for you. The Tales of Ba Sing Se only being number 10.
Again, as I was
This is the emotional trauma.
No. As I was stacking them, this was actually lower. I actually moved it up quite a bit because I think it was coming in like 14, 13. Yeah.
Wow.
And so like again, like as I was like pulling the episodes apart in my brain, I was like, so that's why it like came up a little bit more. Because again, like it's a very fun episode, but at the end of the day, like it's just like filler, unfortunately. Like,
yeah, it is.
Don't get me wrong, like it a lot of those stories are very beautiful and I think that they are important and worth telling. But for me, you if you guys don't know this already, you should. I'm all about the story.
Yes.
So you better be telling a story. And like again, like those stories are good. They're important. But in the overarching thing of like season 2, and then even Avatar is like a whole series. That's why it kind of got pushed down.
I can understand that reasoning. Definitely. And Rapunzel says, my favorite is whichever one I'm currently watching, just like my favorite Doctor is whichever one I'm currently watching. Relatable. No, I always find after watching each episode, you just get kind of like a nice just euphoria, like, oh, that was so good. And then you get to the next one, you're like, oh, that was so good. Was it good or was it better? Ooh, Marcus Aurelius says The Library, puke. Avatar Day, trophy. Well, that is in contention with Brandy's rating, which had The Library at number 9. To be fair, had it at 16. So I agree with you, Marcus Aurelius.
Listen, I feel like I'm always like, listen, guys, just you don't understand. Not the Avatar Day. The Library is one of my favorites. It's actually a little low. Listen, I love watching Ton. Anytime a spirit comes up and they're just grouchy and they're like, listen, I don't need to deal with you. I'm like, Yes.
Don't
more
be
of
doing
that.
bull crap.
You know I love Co.
Yes, you like the villains.
I do like the villains. And like watching Tom, like he's just a crotchety little owl who wants to be left alone. Like there's nothing wrong with that. I relate to that so much.
Well, and it doesn't help. Like, actually, it really does help with that character portrayal because it's something Alessandro. What's his name? Hector Alessandro.
Oh yeah.
I think who voiced him.
Mm-hmm.
Who's like, I know him from Last Man Standing.
Mm-hmm.
He plays a crotchety guy there too. I'm like,
Exactly.
yeah, that vibes. No, it's a great story. It just scares the pants off of me. That chase scene when his neck goes out.
No. Okay, here's the thing. The knowledge Fox Wolf Saints, adorable.
They are cute.
Professor Zhao. How can you
R.I.P.
R.I.P. But no, like the library is a very important episode within like the story of itself because that's when you learn about the Day of Black Sun. It is the episode that Appa gets taken in.
Oh, it is a really important story.
It's a very important episode, and things that happen in that episode have ramifications throughout the entire series. And it's
have a good point.
And it's that mid-season episode, which if you guys I don't expect you to remember, but my favorite episode from season 1 is the Winter Solstice Part 1 and 2, and that's that mid-season episode that has ramifications that carry out throughout the entire story. So why wouldn't the library be here?
That makes a whole lot of sense. I think I may have rated it a little bit too low.
No. I don't tell you this to like persuade you in any way.
Oh no, I'm just realizing the error of my ways. It's like, oh crud, that was a lot of information in that episode. It's an exposition dump.
No, it's not.
It's a lot of stuff, but in an elegant way. It's not quite a dump as it is a slight trickle.
Yeah. It's like, listen, guys, like
over 22 minutes.
Eventually, we gotta stop, making fun and doing this, and we gotta like lay some things.
Time for trauma.
It's just like pulling a little thread loose, and it's like we'll tie that later.
Yeah. Next thing you know, the tapestry just falls apart.
Yeah.
No. Oh yeah.
But where do you have the desert? Because I don't think we can talk about the library and not talk. Oh, the desert is your last one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I have it at 12.
Oh, it's just so much emotional damage. I don't like it. Like it's good because it shows like the struggle and the internal thing about how Aang feels alone. We got cactus juice, but I like even bits of Avatar State a little bit better.
Okay. No, I think that's fair. Like, yeah, the desert again is one of those like heavy emotional ones. But the reason why I like it is one, it has sparked a great meme within the fandom, which is cactus juice and friendly mushroom. Maybe it's friendly. Yeah. But the main reason why I like it is because everybody's crumbling, and like Aang is dealing with Appa being lost. Toph is dealing with her grief of she blames herself for Appa being taken, and then Sokka is like, oh, cactus juice. And that just leaves Katara to be like, all right, well, guess I'm gonna be the only one to get us out of here. And so like Katara, again, being like the mom of the group, but I would say that she even like goes past the mom of the group, because like there's a point where she's tired and she's like, if I break, then we're not going to get out of here. And so I think that it's such a great episode for Katara's character.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's higher for me. And plus like that moment where Aang is getting ready to go into the Avatar State at the very end of the episode, and everybody's kind of like clearing out, and Katara just walks up to him and grabs his hand and just looks up at him. She doesn't have to say anything. She just looks up at him like, "We're too tired for this. I know.
I'm too tired
like,
for your bull crap.
Yeah. And like, that is what brings him down. And then he finally allows himself to like cry and like have like this little moment. And yes, like it's very emotional and everything like that. But like again, it's a good episode.
Nice.
It's a good episode.
It is pretty good. I mean,
that's what I say. None of these episodes are bad, except for the Avatar steak. None of these episodes are bad.
I think I'm letting my childhood emotions put that at number 20 instead of 19.
My childhood emotions are actually what went into my number 1 pick.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Should we reveal?
No, because I want to talk about, let's see here. Hold on. The Guru.
Oh gosh, yeah.
We're not too far apart on that.
Yep.
And it's a very important episode for the storyline. But I rank it kind of low. I'm curious to see why you ranked it the way that you did.
So I think the main thing for me is the lack of action. That's what feels like an exposition dump. It's like we're doing a whole lot of information, which is great information. And it's can help you with meditation in real life. But at the same time, it's like, I don't feel excited about watching this episode. It feels more like homework.
Yeah. That, and it's paired, like it's part of the season finale.
Right, yeah.
And so like, I think that's why I ranked it kind of low, was because it's a season finale. Like I always like transport myself back into like kid Brandi mind, which isn't that much different than my current mind. But I always like transport my like, I waited all week. I was so excited. And then like the first 22 and a half minutes is this, and you're kind of like, it's kind of cool, but I don't know. Also, every single time I watch it, and this can be said about the entire like season 2 finale, it's really just the Empire Strikes Back. Like the Guru,
right.
The Guru, yeah. Aang being like, I gotta go save Katara, and the Guru being like, if you leave now, you'll never master the Avatar state. It just transports me back to the Empire Strikes Back, where Yoda being like, if you leave now, like whatever he says, I don't even know what he says, but like it's got major Empire Strikes Back vibes.
I've never put those two together.
Yeah. And then even like the Crossroads of Destiny, they lose, and what do the heroes do in Empire Strikes Back? They lose. They lose.
Man.
So and I say this with like a grain of salt because Empire Strikes Back is my favorite Star Wars. But yeah, every single time I watch The Guru, I just think of Yoda talking to Luke and being like, if you leave now, then
I mean, do you have an
never become a Jedi or something? Yeah.
Practically talking to a kid. Like,
yeah.
There's some very strong parallels there. Help them you could, but you will destroy all for which they have fought and suffered.
Yeah.
I can't do a Yoda voice. No, that's going to be with me now every time I watch The Guru, and I appreciate it. Because now I add a whole new level to my watching experience. Also, Rapunzel says, just FYI, for when y'all eventually give in and read The Wheel of Time, Brandi is in the Brown Aja as a whole group of women that pretty much live in the biggest library in the world. That'd be fun. Ooh. Talk more about the Crossroads of Destiny, number 15 versus question marks. Ooh, yeah.
Hold on. One more thing. The only reason why the Earth King is ranked 11 for me is because of the fight sequence at the beginning.
Yeah.
Hands down, one of the best fight scenes in this whole series. You can fight me on that. That's why it's at 11.
100% agree. No, the plot for that one, kind of lacking, but the action is just got it.
Chef kiss.
Amazing. Oh, yeah. I mean, most of ours, you get Return to Amashu within a few. You get, you can kind of see question mark for the Blind Bandit for me, but they're within a similar thing. The Swamp, I say we're pretty much in agreement with some of the more stable episodes for rewatches.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, 15, Crossroads of Destiny. I'm interested to know why yours isn't a question mark. I think I know why, just because like we just reviewed it and stuff, but I don't know. This episode, it gives me anxiety.
Oh,
I was like,
100%.
I'm just gonna
100%.
put this a little bit farther down. Like, if this is my ranking for personal wise rather than like actual quality, like
Mhm.
this isn't IMDb or anything. This is just my personal ranking. The anxiety drags that one down.
That's okay. No, that's understandable. That's understandable
I have
completely.
enough anxiety in life without this.
I just think that, well, I'll hold off before we reveal the top 3 because
Oh,
eh,
yes.
um
Oh, is
I
there
don't
anything else we need to talk about before
I
the
don't know. I
top
keep
3?
looking at this. Let's see here.
I mean,
I do want to ask. So, Return to Amashu's in your top 5.
yes.
What is it about that episode that has put it there for you?
Just Boomy. I love Boomy in that he's just, Aang, I need to tell you something. It's like, it's just so funny to me. And yeah, it's a good, fun Earth Kingdom romp. And
Yeah.
sometimes you just need those in your ranking list.
No, respect.
I think
No,
that's
it's a
fine.
good episode. Plus, like, we get like the whole like Pentapox thing, which
Yes,
is just
I have the
a
little
great reason for me
crocheted.
to bring. Yeah.
Yay! I
Uh,
love that.
but yeah, no, it's a good episode, which again is why it is at 8 for me.
Well, and like the swamp, we kind of switched there because the swamp is 5 for you and it's number 8 for me.
Oh
So,
yeah, look at that.
eh,
Again, the
just
reason why the swamp is where it's at is besides it's a great episode, and plus, like, I listen. If you bring in some Southern characters in any show, and it's just automatically a win. I don't know. There's just
Oh yeah,
something about those that I'm just like, yes.
yeah, yes.
But aside from that, like, great comment, like, they're just good old boys in the swamp. Um
And there's a tornado.
and there's a tornado. Yeah, see, Katie, what are you doing? What you doing?
That's why it's number 8.
No, the swamp is really where I think the story for season 2 begins, because again, like, it's where we first learn about like these invisible lines that tie the characters together, which is something that we hear the guru talk about, and then even Aang references it a couple of different times here and there. And so I think that that's really where the story for season 2 begins, and then I don't know, not to be too on the nose, but you can kind of like follow that line throughout the
Yeah.
rest of the season. And that's why it's number 5 for me, because it's a good time and the story's there. Plus, the good old country boys. They're just ridiculous, and I love it.
We're kin. Like that line.
We're
kills
kin.
That's such a good line. The delivery is beautiful. Oh, and Marcus Aurelius brings up another good point. City of Walls and Secrets. That's 17 for me. That's 6 for you.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Marcus Aurelius, for bringing this up. The reason why City of Walls and Secrets is where it is again, you start the episode, the emotions are high. They're like, we're going to find Appa, we're going to do all these things. And by the end of it, you are totally crushed because you realize that Ba Sing Se isn't what we thought it was leading up throughout this whole season. And even in season 1, where like they kind of mention it here and there, you're like, oh, Ba Sing Se has to be great. It's just as bad as the rest of the world, if not worse. And it also proves, and it kind of is a theme that, again, maybe the second good point that we could talk about the Avatar state. There are villains outside of the Fire Nation.
True. It
And
doesn't emphasize that it's not just black and white.
Yeah. And so that gray area, I think, is fantastic. And again, like, what other like kid TV shows are playing in that realm? Like, usually it's very like
True.
clear cut. Like we have Batman versus the Joker, and there's other cartoons, but I
Ash
don't know
versus Team Rocket.
exactly like there are clear cut between the villains and the heroes, but in Cities of Walls and Secrets, that line gets blurred, and their entire time in Ba Sing Se is just
Yep.
like,
It's crushing
so
defeat.
That's why it's where it's at.
Oh, see that's why mine is where it's at. It's like, oh no, I had such hope. No, don't do this to me, Avatar. It's all about hope. Not to sound like Katara or anything. Time Prophet, hello. You just started watching Dragon Ball Z, and the drawing style is similar to Avatar. Not quite as good though. I've never seen Dragon Ball Z.
Neither have I.
I'll have to check that out. I've seen still shots as memes, but now I'll have to take a look. Oh, speaking of still shots and memes, this season gave us so many good ones. You mentioned you got cactus juice. You got just Iroh under the tree in Tales of Ba Sing Se. Like, so much emotion just in one single photo.
Yeah, all the emotion, all of the time.
Honestly, emotions, I went full on non-Spock for this. I let the emotions drive for my ranking scale. Oh boy. Well, shall we switch to our top 3?
Yeah, let's do it.
We shall reveal. Okay, here we go, guys. Imaginary drum roll from wherever you're watching, and boom. Yep, very different.
Very different. Okay, so like first off, I think we gotta address the elephant in the room. Zuko alone. Why in the world? Katie? Yes. Katie, I need you to focus. Katie, come back. Why is it at 7? I can get over the crossroads of destiny. Okay, I can.
Yeah.
Zuko alone at 7. It's a crime.
It's only because it's not as funny as the other ones. I am a
cry me a river.
Funny person. I will if I watch that episode. I feel so bad for Zuko and my what is it, empathy, that's it. Boy, I am struggling today. But yes, my empathy will not allow me to enjoy this episode more because I am just a mess by the end of it.
Right, that's fine. That's fair.
But
we all can't be emotionless robots like me. I understand.
Oh. And not everyone can be completely driven by blind emotions and rage like me. So we're good. That's why we do the list. I like that we have Avatar Day within one pick of each other.
Okay, we'll talk about Avatar Day. I love this episode. Okay, you go first. You go first. You go first. What?
There's so much. I'm trying to think of it all because first off, you get a great explanation of a Kyoshi story, which usually in Avatar you get the Roku stories and stuff. So this is nice to get Kyoshi showing up again. And then you have just the line delivery. We call it justice because it's just us. And then you have the prison scene where Aang's just like, you guys are really nice. Just, you're laughing every couple minutes.
Got tattoos. Looks like you're gonna fit in well here, kid.
It's so good. Oh, it's so funny. But what do you like it?
Okay. Kyoshi is my favorite Avatar. And so anytime that we go back to Kyoshi Island, automatic A for me. But the comedy is there. Like, this is, again, like, Avatar is often talked about for its story, but its comedy, gold as well. And this is peak Avatar comedy. Everything from, like, looks like it's boiled in oil. And then also we can't say that line without being like, the village is being attacked and Aang's like, I'd love to help, but I'm supposed to be boiled in oil. And then the mayor just like turns the wheel and he goes, now your punishment is community service. Now go serve your community. That is a great written line.
So so good. And oh gosh, who voices the mayor? Oh, let's
Um,
see.
it's the it's the same guy that's like the emperor's assistant in Mulan,
And
and
he does
he does
Poe's
Poe's
dad,
dad and Kung Fu Panda. I don't know his
James
name.
Hong.
There you go.
Yep, James Hong. What a legend. I think he's
Absolute legend.
how old is James Hong? Hong. 94.
Good for him.
Holding public office at that age? Good for him.
For him.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's just like it's a classic Avatar episode.
Mhm.
It is a filler episode, but it has so many like high points and great comedy moments, and that's why it just
Well,
went.
and
Yeah,
it gives us history too. So it's not like the Great Divide or anything. It actually
Mhm.
serves a purpose as a filler. So
Yeah.
I give it a little bit of a pass.
Plus, I love how Sokka's like, I'm gonna play detective, and Katara keeps like figuring the things out, and he's just like, the hat, the pipe. Do these things mean nothing to you?
And anyone who has siblings can relate.
Exactly. Like there's some great sibling moments.
Oh,
No, it's a fun episode. And
it's like the one
yeah,
when he's
like
like, oh, it's water tribe money, so long as it's money.
so long as it's money. Yeah, like there's just we've literally almost quoted the entire episode.
Yes, the full memory recall. Just
Exactly. Which is why it's
yes.
number 3. And it deserves that slot.
Yes, oh, definitely. I hope Time Prophet you remember which one Avatar Day is because it's such a good episode. But I just noticed Blind Bandit. Care to explain how that is low on your top 10, let alone the top 20?
Yeah. Yeah, so the Blind Bandit, I think it just kind of came down to there were more episodes that I liked more, obviously, like Avatar Day. And then once I compared to like the story and everything, that's why it like slowly fell down. And it fell down a lot more, but I brought it back up because it introduces
Ooh.
Toph. And for that reason alone, it has to
For the plot.
for the plot. But no, it's a great episode. Still a really great one. And
Mhm.
I love like there's this moment where I think it's the beginning where Sokka is like shopping and he's like, I do like this bag. Katara's like, then you should get it. I don't know. It's kind of expensive. Then don't. But it does, it would be not. And like, that's how I shop. I'm like, oh, I do like
Yeah.
this thing. And my siblings are like, then you should get it. And I'm like, well, it is expensive. And I'm like,
Yeah.
then just walk away. Bye.
I really do like it.
I really do
Yes.
like it.
Sokka is all of us.
Yeah. And then like later on after like they win the pro bending belt, he's like, I'm so glad that I got this bag because it matches the belt perfectly.
Yeah.
and then it's like the first time or one of the first times Toph calls Aang Twinkle Toes, and Sokka's just like, don't answer to Twinkle Toes, it's not manly. Katara just goes, says the man whose bag matches his belt. Like
It's seamless. Just perfect delivery.
Mhm.
Now, I like that. I like that a lot. Although I think my favorite part of the episode is just getting to see all the other earthbending styles for the fighting. Because
And
like
Fire
we're
Nation
nomads. Yeah, exactly. Fire Lord, my arm, your flame burns for thee. Like it's so good, and you don't get to really see the different air nomad fighting styles. You get a little bit of the water tribe, but it's like water and ice, blood, and then Earth Kingdom is just like, here you go. We got all these different rock. So that was pretty sweet to see. That pushed it up a lot on my list.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Yes. Oh, let's see what else. Bitter Work. I got that as 6. You got that as 1. What put that at the top of your list?
This was pure emotion for me. I don't know. I just remember watching this episode when it first came out, and thinking how great it was. Like, I don't know. It's just one of those ones that just stick out in my head when watching the series for the first time. And so that's why it's there. But also because I have to give a better reason for that.
Emotion can be the good reason.
I think that this episode balances out the strong emotional storytelling side of Avatar: The Last Airbender while also having the comedy. So, like in the episode, Aang's learning how to earthbend and he's not getting it, and Toph is being a lot harder on him than Katara is. Like Katara's very like, oh, you'll get there, you know, and Toph is just like, just do it.
Yeah. Through the rock.
Yeah, and like even like that training montage that they have, like it has like its funny moments, and you know, Toph is not willing to budge on anything. And then, you know, we have Sokka just literally stuck in a hole.
Foo cuddly poops.
Yeah. And then on the other side of that, you have like this really like strong emotional thing between Zuko and Iroh. And
Iroh, that's right.
Mm-hmm. And Iroh is, well, Zuko wants to learn how to lightning bend. And so Iroh is like trying to explain it to him and everything like that. And he can't get it. And so Iroh tells him about, you know, this technique that he created where he could redirect lightning, and he learned it from watching the waterbenders. And then, you know, it comes to like this point in the episode where Zuko's like, okay, I think I got it. Shoot lightning at me. And Iroh's just like, I'm not going to do that at all.
Are you crazy?
Exactly. And then like the episode, I think that's where the episode ends. I may be wrong. It might not end here, but Zuko's story for in the episode ends with him like on a mountain, there's a thunderstorm, and he's just like, you know, give me your worst. I can take it now. And like, it never happens. And he just like breaks down, and he's just like, ugh. And it's just like,
it's just Lieutenant Dan moment, really.
Yeah. And again, like, it's just like this really strong emotional story for Zuko. And like, you know, he's on the run from the Fire Nation. He's not probably going to get the Avatar. In the episode prior, Iroh was like pretty seriously injured. And, you know, like he almost had everything taken away from him in that moment. And then he finally learns one more thing that he can do to protect himself or protect Iroh and all these other things. And now he doesn't even know if he'll be able to do it when the time comes. And it's just like, So that's why it's number one, is because, again, I think it is one of the quintessential episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like, if you were trying to explain Avatar: The Last Airbender to people, you would be like, it's funny. It has, like, you know, it's a kid's show, and here are XYZ, but it also has, like, these really deep emotional storytelling moments. And I think Bitterwork weaves those together perfectly, and like that's why it's number one for me, is because that is what this series is about.
You explained that very well. I'm starting to regret putting it number 6.
No. Again.
I completely forgot of the B plot, though.
You can't forget about the B plot.
How can I? I love the explanation of the 4 nations and how they're all interlinked. Like, I want that as a poster. Oh.
But Tales of Ba Sing Se, you're number one.
Yes. Nostalgia driven, 100%. Because I know this episode, like, word for word, practically. And it's nice to see you get Toph and Katara being able to bond. You get Aang, who kind of goes off on his own, but is still sticking along with the main story of looking for Appa. Sokka's just being Sokka, prowling around the city. And you get to see Zuko happy, which is so nice. And then the final one with Iroh. Well, it's not even the final one in the episode. If that was the way they ended the episode, that would have been dramatic. But like Momo sitting in Appa's paw print, and there's so many strong emotions, and they all range from like happy to proud to funny to sad, like soul crushingly sad. And to have all that happen in short little snippets in a short episode too, I just think that's a pinnacle of really good writing. And being able to as a filler episode, still just flesh out these characters in meaningful ways. And it's because showing that Iroh Hadley 10 for me impacts every other appearance he's had in the series, because it drives why he changed, why he is the way he is, how he looks at life. And I would not have thought of any of that if it hadn't been for this episode. So, number one.
That's a good reason. Now you're convincing me.
Oh, see, there you go. But we do have the opportunity to pick a top one, although I think I have a proposal for a top three.
Okay. All right. I just want to say one more thing about the Crossroads of Destiny.
Yes.
Okay. The reason why I like it so much is because they lose.
Oh my gosh.
Like, no, like it's great. Like it has like this great building moments and you're like, oh my gosh, like the whole story between Zuko, like what is he going to choose to do? And also like Azula coming in and being able to control the whole situation. Like, what more do you want there? But no, like again, every single time I watch it, I'm transported back to being a little kid and watching it and having that moment where you're like, oh my gosh, did Aang just die? Is this how it ends? That can't be how it ends. And then Katara healing him, and then like him kind of halfway waking up and looking up at her, and then like credits. And then you go like, I don't know. I can't remember if this aired during the summer or if it was like a fall winter thing, but you go the entire time waiting for season 3 going, what happened? What happened?
Yeah.
And so that for me is just like pure nostalgia. And plus just like, again, like what other kid show ends a whole season, let alone an episode where the villains win and the heroes lose? And the heroes don't only lose in this episode, they lose in a major way.
They almost die.
Exactly.
In kid shows, you don't die in a kid show.
I know, but little kid Brandi was like, oh my god.
That is definitely a very good ending. As an adult, as a kid, trauma. As adult, applaud.
I can't say that I was traumatized. I was just more shocked.
Yeah.
I was just more shocked because even as a kid, I would watch the cartoons and be like, there's no reason to be worried.
Yeah.
They're gonna survive. And then just to have that moment of like I think it's like black and white almost of like when he's getting electrocuted, that like lives so clearly in my head, because I'm just like, I just remember being as a kid being like, did they really just do that?
They went there?
They went there?
Oh yeah, that is probably one of the top scariest images in my childhood memory recall, is just shocked Aang being like, whoa, like, no. Oh gosh. Ooh, Time Prophet. This is a good point. I'll have to look it up on my own. Putting the authors for each of the episodes, like who wrote them, because that makes sense that there would be similar writers who pop up throughout the show.
Yeah, that would definitely be something to look at and to draw more lines and streams.
Yes. Oh, and apparently, strangely, people do die in Dragon Ball Z, and they also smoke. Was this made in the 90s? Because I feel like that's a 90s cartoon. Just a little bit. Oh, man. But yes, no, those top 3, all very good episodes. There aren't any outright, what are you thinking posts. Like, they're all very good. Now, my proposal. I have a top 3 idea.
Okay.
But I still think we can agree on a top 1, probably.
Okay.
Of the 3, in no particular order, Avatar Day, Bitter Work, and I'll pitch a tie between Tales of Ba Sing Se and Crossroads of Destiny. Putting personal feelings aside.
Okay.
Because story-wise, Crossroads of Destiny, very solid, very unique, incredible storytelling. Bitter Work, ties the whole universe together, is a great example of what Avatar is. Avatar Day, self-explanatory.
Self-explanatory.
Tales of Ba Sing Se, one of the most standout and recognizable episodes of the entire franchise.
You're right about that. You're so right about that.
Because if you ask them what's the most traumatic thing that happened in Avatar: The Last Airbender, leaves from the vine.
Oh no, like I think I told you the other day, like I went to go like pick up a pizza or something and that song was playing
Yes.
in the storefront. And I was like, excuse me? I was excited about my pizza. Now I'm gonna have to go home and deal with that.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
That's why I'm like, Crossroads of Destiny is high up on your list. Tales of Ba Sing Se is high up on my list, but they're both very iconic. Bitter Work encapsulates all of the franchise together into one episode, and then along with that, Avatar Day is just amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, we got Dave Gregory showing up. Coming in late, but soaking up these lists. Absolutely. Louise Express says, your favorite animated film from the 80s had a character death early on, so I don't think it was ever in my head that they couldn't die, even as a kid-friendly ones. Ooh. Interesting. Oh, Dragon Ball Z was in the 90s. And Rapunzel says, you mentioned Leaves from the Vine, and I instantly got chill bumps. Yeah. In this heat to get those? Yeah, that is a major reaction.
Okay, so I'm sorry because I'm listening, but I'm not. So you're proposing in no particular order: Tales of Ba Sing Se, The Crossroads of Destiny, Bitter Work, and Avatar Day.
Yes.
This is interesting.
Feel free to shuffle that around. Because I figured from those three.
Did I talk about why Zuko alone is number 3 for me?
Very briefly, but yes, do continue.
I can't remember if I said anything. I just wanted to say, like, obviously, like, it flushes out his character. Like, sad Zuko moment. Who doesn't love it? But it also, I think you were like, it's so sad. Yeah. I would like to argue against that because in the fight, there's like an old man. He's like, give him a left. And then somebody's like, says, it's a sword fight, not a fist fight. And the old man goes, you got a left sword, don't he? That is a great line.
that is a pretty fun line.
That is a great line.
Humor and seriousness can coexist.
Of my favorite lines. That's why it lives right up there.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
So I don't know. I just kept looking at Zuko alone, and I was like, I don't think I talked about that, and I want to make sure that I talk about that. Okay. No, these 4 are good. These 4 are good. I'm willing to put. Okay, let's eliminate one. Let's eliminate one. To make a top 3, we gotta eliminate one.
Okay.
I'm actually, this is what I'm willing to do, Katie. I'm willing to eliminate the Crossroads of Destiny.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Really? What draws you to that conclusion?
Because I realize how sad it is. Okay. And I realize that, again, not everybody is an emotionalist robot like me.
Oh.
And so
I think you're just better at processing them. The rest of us are just peasants.
Yeah, I'm better at processing fictional trauma, not my own. Yes.
You're talking to the girl who cried for like an hour over a kitten named Tater Tot who died. Like, it was bad. Did you know about Tater Tot?
No, I didn't.
Okay, Tater Tot had bonkers. He was born with deformed legs, and so they had to break them and put them in casts so they would heal. This little orange cat. I'm gonna find a picture of Tater Tot.
I don't know.
You need to see.
I don't know. Okay.
You'll see. It's he lived as good a life as he could. He had a heart defect from the beginning, so they kind of knew that
cards were stacked against him.
Exactly. But this cat, he's created merch that says "Keep going out of spite." and I bought a sticker, and I'm gonna buy a hat, because it's so true. So here's Tater Tot. Tater Tot, the cutest little munchkin. I love, where'd he go? Right there. That's my favorite picture of him ever. And he had these little bonkers. And so he then people got tattoos of him. People, there's so many pictures of him. He would go to a Harley Davidson, like, yeah, it's glorious. But anyway, yeah, he died, and it was the same day Sophia passed away. And when I tell you, I was sobbing. But no, and that's why I tell you, I'm not good at processing emotions, because that's just a cat. Imagine how attached I get to fictional characters. When the 10th Doctor regenerated, I should probably be on some sort of medication. But
I mean, good if you do, good if you don't, you know, whatever.
I bought a shirt that says I get emotionally attached to fictional characters. And it's like, you'll find this when we do a Good Omens, hint to a recent project, guys, when we do a Good Omens watch, because I have feelings. Oh, let's see. Time Prophet says Serpent's Pass should be higher. What did we put the Serpent's Pass at?
I have 14.
Oh, I put,
You have 9.
oh, stupid Katie, putting that there. There we go. 9. I like the Suki aspect, and I like the whole, oh, Sokka, you saved me.
Actually, it's me, Suki. Yeah, okay.
I
You
love
can
it.
let me drown now.
Yes, those are my 2 favorite parts. But otherwise, like, the rest of the episode is kind of a wash.
Yeah, like I would have pretty much said the same thing. The highlight of that episode for me is Suki, because everybody knows how much I love Suki.
Yes.
There's also a great moment where, like, you know, he's like, Aang is like, I don't want to pull this card, but I'm the Avatar. And the lady's like, it's not even a good costume. I see 10 avatars a day. And it just, camera just like cuts to them. And
All the
you're just like,
cosplays.
okay.
And he's just like,
This is also where we get to see Jet for the first time in forever.
oh, right.
And we kind of get to, like, see the friendship between him and Zuko, which is interesting. And I think this is also the episode where, like, Iroh's really kind of, like, trying to lay out, like, you know, them starting a new life and everything like that. And then a great Iroh line where, like, they're on the ferry and he's, like, staring off into the water, and he's like, never did I ever think that I would return to my greatest military defeat. Swaps on a hat as a tourist.
He's trying his hardest to make the most out of the lemons he was dealt.
He is. That he is. And yeah, like, they're helping that family across the Serpent's Pass.
Yeah.
And, you know, the episode kind of ends with Aang finding his hope again, and, like, him, like, I think fully processing Appa being gone.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, again, like, it has, like, those cool, like, deep emotional storylines, but it's just, I don't know, like,
it's not as bad. It's just there are better ones.
Yeah, in our opinion. Time Prophet, you can have your own opinion, and that's great.
True.
We would love to
You can
hear
have
it.
your own lists.
Yeah.
Rapunzel says just make a top 6 and include them all.
Yeah, but if we made a top 6, we would have to pick 2 more, and I think Katie would like to go to bed. So again, back to my original. I'm willing to put aside my own personal feelings and get rid of the Crossroads of Destiny. So now we're only dealing with the Tales of Ba Sing Se, Bitter Work, and Avatar Day.
Mm-hmm. I accept that kind gesture. And I will issue one of my own. I do think the top 1 should either be Avatar Day or Bitter Work. Like, Tales of Ba Sing Se, story-wise, it's just not as impactful.
See, here's the thing. I was getting ready to say that we could put Tales of Ba Sing Se at number 1, because I do think that, given, if you think of the fandom as a whole and how they interact with that episode. It's so important, especially Iroh's story.
Yeah.
It's so important, and I feel like it has ramifications throughout the whole fandom. I say that, and then I just made up a counter argument. Toss that aside. Forget everything I just said, because I'm getting ready. It should probably go at number 2, because the only thing that people talk about from that episode is Iroh's story. They don't talk about Aang's, and they don't talk about
He made
Katara
a
and Toph,
zoo.
and yeah. And they only talk. We only talk about Iroh. It has to go at number 2. Dare I say number 3?
Yeah. No, I agree. It's like, it's good. Iroh's is fantastic. I think like Zuko's also, it gets looked over a lot because of Iroh's, but also really good. But then you get to like Sokka's, and like Momo's is just kind of there, and Aang's is just kind of there. So content wise, for that sake, I say we put that at 3.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that would give us, between Avatar Day and Bitter Work, I think for the sake of the season and the plot and the story as a whole, Bitter Work should be number 1.
I mean, I'm not gonna disagree with you, because you're absolutely right.
Well,
I mean, you know how I feel.
Oh yeah. No, because you brought up a good point with the Zuko and Iroh thing. Is you're talking about the elements. You're learning a key skill that comes back multiple times. Better like long-term ramifications than boiled in oil.
Yeah. Again, like a great line. Looks like it's boiled in oil. I feel like I do it different, and I do it worse every single time. But I'll continue to do it.
The whole thing with it.
I'll continue to do it. Oh, I forgot. And in Avatar Day, when Aang's like explaining like the story, he's like, "Plus, I have really big feet." He's just like has like these. I just really love how he's like
the zoom down.
Yeah. And then like they're like, so Kyoshi couldn't have done it. And then Kyoshi like comes in and she's like, so I did it.
Well, you know what makes that episode so much better is the Avatar Kyoshi reacts on TikTok. That it it's just a Yang, what are you doing? Admitting that I killed him.
All right. You know what? I'm willing to accept that Bitter Work is number 1, Avatar Day is 2, and not Crossroads. Tales of Ba Sing Se is 3. And
perfect.
Crossroads of Destinies is 4.
It's 3.1. It's like right beneath. You know, Time Prophet brings up a good point. We should be doing this on whiteboards with tiles as magnets, and we could just shuffle them around like the 1970s meteorologists did. Oh,
I can make an interactive PowerPoint.
The skill level here, guys. Well, we have our top ones, but the internet has ways of pointing out things that we might not see and or agree with. And I found IMDb has rankings for the episodes, and it shows what the top ranked episode for season 2 is. Would you care to see, Brandi?
Yeah, let's see how wrong we are.
Oh, it's a good one. All right, so first off, Avatar State got 8.6 out of 10.
I mean, that's generous, but okay.
It's higher ranked than Cave of Two Lovers, Return to Omashu. It ranked a whole 1 point higher than The Swamp.
I will say that I think, generally speaking, people don't really like the Swamp episode.
But it's so good.
Again, I just like it. I just like it for the Swamp people.
I like it for the tornadoes, so we are both biased, aren't we?
There we go. There we go.
But no, like you look at this, Avatar Day got a 7.4. That is the lowest ranking.
I just started thinking about the Swamp, and where like Sokka like tries tossing like some meat to the gator, to the gator cat. And one of them was just like, "Shoo, don't eat that. That's people food."
That's people food.
Or his name's Fluffy. I don't know what his name is, but they're just like, he don't eat that. That's people food.
This is what Hollywood thinks the southern United States is.
I know, but I low-key kind of like it, and I'm sorry if that's offensive, guys. I realize you all don't talk like that at all.
As someone who occasionally slips into what is known as a Michigan Southern accent, yeah, it's fun.
It's just great. I just like it so much.
Oh, man. Good episode. Way too low ranked. Same thing for Avatar Day. Blind Bandit, 9.1. I think it's mostly Toph driven there. But Zuko alone is the top rated episode in the season at a 9.5.
See?
We got some Zuko stans editing IMDb. Well, and that's only through episode 7. You go to episode 8, 9 out of 10. Bitter Work, only 8.5.
I think the chase is way too much there at 9.
Yeah. It's so, I mean, just look at the description. It's a long, drawn out. It makes you exhausted by the end of it.
I mean, yeah, it makes you exhausted because the characters are exhausted at the end of it.
You just feel exhausted.
It does have a good fight sequence, though.
True. You get to see all the elements coming together and just being like.
Plus, this is the first time that, like, Zuko, Azula, and the gang have all like fought each other.
Yeah, everyone's together again.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe we forgot. This is also the episode where Toph meets Iroh.
Oh yeah.
And they have like that little moment.
Oh, the tea offering. Maybe I should have put that higher.
I was going to say that changes things for me.
Yeah, because I mean, you put that at what, number 18?
I would almost move that up to 16 and move the Guru and the drill down.
I could see that. I could do that. Yeah, the chase I put at number 10 just because, yeah, I like the elemental battle at the end. And yeah, cool. Bonus points found after the fact. Ooh, Bree saying, with the chase's description on IMDb, you don't even need to watch the episode. It's all just laid out there. Corey Cochran, how are you doing? Born in Detroit, Michigan, live in Kentucky. Nice. Well, then you understand the Southern accent changes. You've rated series on IMDb, but you don't usually rate by episode unless you're doing it while you're watching them. That's an honest way of doing things. Never read IMDb before watching it. Very true. Because if you keep going, library, the desert, all still.
That makes sense. I think a lot of people don't really like those 2 episodes, and that's fine. I like them.
They're deep. They're very deep episodes. So
they are.
And most people probably rating this remember it as a kid instead of actually like being able to appreciate it.
I appreciated it as a kid, but that's neither here nor there.
You are ahead of your time, Brandi.
I know. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. That's actually a very good skill.
I wish I could be a kid. Even yeah.
Be a child.
You know what, Katie? I strive to be you when I grow up.
Oh, see, I strive to be you. No, you and my 94-year-old neighbor.
See, you just compared me to your 94-year-old neighbor.
And not you and Kathy would get along really well.
I know.
I found out we were talking sidetrack because we haven't had many of those today. She used to live on Maui, on the other side of the island from where the fires are. And she was talking about when she lived in Hawaii and how they had cockroaches that were huge. And she said, we had an exterminator come in and he caught one. And I still have it. It's in my basement. I'm like, dead or alive? This was like in the 80s. So, yeah, I want to be her when I grow up. We got some opinions in here. We got the desert was good. The buried city was great. Then you have great even. The library, some particular favorite of Louise X. Sparrow. Ooh, it's 91 degrees where you are, Corey. That is rough. And we tried to make the library in Minecraft as kids. That just goes to show how much Brandi loves the library.
Yeah, we tried to do it. Yeah.
Did you? How far did you get in that project?
Pretty far. Pretty far.
Is the server still active?
It was on the 360, so we didn't have to have a survey.
Nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I want to see that now. Well, then just for that, the library deserves a little bit higher. This one surprised me. The drill being an 8.9.
I think it
Because
has some good like action sequences. And like
yeah,
that's about like it's just 22 and a half minutes of just them chucking rocks.
yep, yep, exactly. Well, and then you get Tales of Ba Sing Se, which is also, I believe it's tied for top rate. No, it's not. It's second. Zuko is 9.5. Ba Sing Se is 9.2. So we were at least in the ballpark with those.
Yeah.
I'll
The
take
Lake
it.
Lao guy is pretty high though.
That's
9.
way too high. Is it people who wanted to see Jet die.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Mm.
And then
I
the
love this. I love this thumbnail for the Earth King. That's smart.
just Appa.
We'll let you ride Appa.
That'd be all of us. But yeah, you get 9.6 Crossroads of Destiny, technically the highest rated one of
Interesting.
all of them in season 2.
Interesting. So what's the lowest?
The lowest, I believe, is going to be the 7 point. Where'd you go? 7.4, The Swamp. Or no, Avatar Day.
Avatar Day is the lowest.
It has as the lowest, and we put it as number 2. Wow.
Wow.
IMDb, you have no class. How dare y'all? Oh my goodness, we got a lot of comments.
That hurts.
Obligatory. Wait, did Jet die?
Wait, did Jet die?
Yeah, we're just gonna put a Nickelodeon wouldn't let them show it on screen, so they just offed him in the back room. Avatar: Last Airbender LARPing. I would be down for that. Dude, you had a Renaissance festival, but it was Avatar Day, and everyone just walked around as if it was in Avatar.
Katie.
Do this.
Katie. Katie.
We could find somewhere. I'm sure Bloomington has some fairgrounds around it, and we could just host an Avatar Day. Everyone from the East Coast, the West Coast, from all around the world could go and join. I want this. I want this real bad. Oh no, never finish the library.
No, we
you can
never
always go
finished it.
back and try. Can't you?
Probably not. I don't think that 360 works anymore.
Oh, I will fix it for you just to be able to recover that archive. Time Prophet says, I reckon Katie could play guitar and Brandi could play tough. Perhaps you can put on a play. I like the LARPing idea. I'm terrible at memorizing lines. If it's like comedy, just fast, snappy stuff, by all means, I could be on Whose Line Is It Anyway. But if it comes to actually remembering lines, I'm done. Brandi, do you remember at Valpo the 2 concussions that I incurred in a very short period of time?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to blow on my mic like that.
You'll probably remember them when I tell you. You remember the V-Rex costume, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I was the inflatable T-Rex. So those big inflatable T-Rex costumes, guys, that everyone got for Halloween that one year, I had one of those. And I went around the campus because we were Valparaiso, so I turned into a V-Rex instead of a T-Rex. But for Halloween, I was walking around, and some drunk guy came up, and he just, he took his arm and shoved it into my chest, which wasn't my chest. It was the dinosaur's chest. It was my face.
Ooh.
Knocked me back into the cement, cracked my head. Then everyone started to try and get him because it was when they turned Shield into a haunted house. It was really weird. But yeah, basically he drove away and Voopty got involved, etc., etc. That one screwed up my memory. The second one was at the meteorology picnic. When a refrigerator-sized man was running towards third, I got the ball.
You guys were playing kickball.
Yup, exactly. And I just blanked. Next thing I know, I'm on the ground and I have a huge scrape. So in college,
I think did the kickball thing happen my senior year, your junior?
Senior year. Yup.
And was the dinosaur, did that happen your senior year?
That happened my sophomore year, I think. Because they had to shut down Shield because of black mold, I think. Casual black mold in dorms.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Did you have the V-Rex costume in your sophomore?
I did. I pretty much did that since freshman year.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. I just got way more involved with it my senior year.
Your junior and senior year. Because I remember your junior year, which would have been my senior year, and you were like, I was like, wow, she's really, doing her thing.
Look at her go.
Yeah. You go, Katie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate the support. But yeah.
Well, then if it happened your sophomore year, then I wouldn't have been there. Because I was only there for 2 years, junior and yeah.
Well,
when you were junior. Oh no, we didn't graduate together. I was there.
Wobbly.
Your junior year. Did I have a concussion and that messed up my memory?
Probably. You were taking care of bites.
That was probably it. I was taking care of bites.
Time Prophet. Did I hear you right? Katie wore a T-Rex costume. Oh yeah, to all the basketball games. I used to dance so much in that thing.
Listen,
I still have
I'm pretty certain that you were more popular than the school's actual mascot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, especially now. They're like,
I know, right? You should. Are you gonna go back for homecoming?
I want to. I think I might, and just put on the V-Rex costume. I still have the shirt. It's in a frame.
What's great is that I think it's been long enough that the freshmen of your senior year would be seniors now, or have they graduated?
They graduated.
See, I think my memory is off too. Here's the thing. The whole thing with like the pandemic and everything, that year doesn't count. That year doesn't count.
True. That year doesn't.
Okay, then that's even better because the entire student body at that school if they've heard of the V-Rex, they think it's a legend. They don't think it actually happened. So you show up.
There I am.
Yeah, there she is.
It was great. Always on the TV. Oh, classic. Wait. Oh, hey, look, it's me.
Oh, look at that.
Burn it. Yes, bring Katie back to Valpo. I should, because then we can all hang out. Are you going to go to homecoming?
Probably not.
Nah.
Listen,
yeah.
What good is homecoming besides going to sporting events? And I didn't go to an entire sporting event. Well, that's not true because I worked on the TV.
You worked basketball.
I worked at the TV crew. But still, what's the point?
You didn't willingly go to a sporting event.
What's the point?
Mostly just because people want to get drunk and relive their sorority days. I want to loot some of our old yearbooks, because there are things in that one that could work as blackmail. Let's put it that way. Katie and the Roar. Valpo yearns for their V-Rex back. Valpo yearns for any good sports team.
Or a good mascot.
Yeah. Katie could play Appa. That'd be a fun one. Oh, golly. Well, it's almost 7:00. Have we covered everything? Because
I think so.
I can't think of anything else, but we've already talked about it for 5 minutes as to why I cannot remember things.
Yeah, at least you have an excuse. Mine is just, I can't remember the excuse.
There you go. Between the two of us, we should remember something.
Between the two of us, I think we make a whole person.
Ooh, also, you guys are 1 sub away from 666. Okay, so we had been sitting at that.
We keep floating around.
Yeah, we just need like 3 people to just to join or something. I've been following or subscribing and unsubscribing from my other YouTube account just so that we don't sit on that number, because I'm like, bad juju. So we'll see. Tell your friends. Tell them to subscribe, because we have fun stuff coming down the pipeline. Trust me, you guys will want to see this. It's going to be amazing.
Ooh, I do want to ask one thing.
Yes.
We're going into season 3.
We are.
How do you feel about season 3?
I think nostalgia-wise, season 1 is still like one of my favorites, but season 3 story-wise, it's so good. I really like season 3. You don't like season 3? This is gonna be interesting, Brandi.
I don't like season 3. I think I've only rewatched it maybe 3 or 4 times, which is
Wow.
which is low for me because I've seen seasons 1 and 2 more than that. More than that.
Just
Yeah,
more.
more. More.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I remember it, but like at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. So it's gonna be interesting to rewatch the episodes, and I'm either gonna be like, I forgot I liked this episode, or I forgot. Yeah, like usually I
yeah.
feel like I'm so strong on everything, and I'm like, guys, this is one of my favorites, and one of my favorites,
Yeah.
another one of my favorites, and I feel like this one I'm just gonna be like, it's an episode.
It was definitely there.
It happened.
Bree brings up a good point. It's going to take a solid 4 years for them to get through season 3, and that's how you make the long form content. It's true. No, once we head into winter and her tornado season goes away, blizzard season enters. I can be snowed and we can do as many broadcasts as we want. Losers Rule says season 3 is my favorite with the new spelling.
I love that for you. And I wish that I could like it more, but I don't know. I just have this feeling that I'm like, I don't think I like it.
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
That we will.
Also, that reminds me, Louise X Sparrow, if you wouldn't mind, on Twitter, sending me a good address for me to send you your water dice to. I gotta get the rest of the dice in the mail, and then we'll be all set, guys. They might get out by the time we start season 3. Hooray! Yeah. Life is chaos. Put it lightly, as evident by the first words out of my mouth for the start of this stream. God, I love streaming because I can put out the little fires after we're done. It's because they're wearing red, isn't it?
I actually don't really care for red. So
Really?
Yeah.
It has to be the right kind of red.
yeah. So
Like-
Rapunzel may be onto something. It may be the color palette.
Yeah.
It may be the color palette.
Fire Nation. I like it when Zuko became good as you had predicted. There you go. See? Predictions. Expectations is a great word. I do that on my Watch the First podcast with my friend Ryan T. Husk. And they do, what did you expect and what did you get? So there you go. The correct spelling. Indeed. I like that spelling better. The American one is just like favorite. It's favorite. Just flows. But yes, I think that's it, Brandi. We finished book 2 officially. High five. Yay us. Yay. All right, everyone. Oops, sorry. I blame Rapunzel. You're good. Don't worry. I mean, the memes just take everything else out of your brain and it's replaced. But yes, we are all finished up with book 2, getting ready for book number 3. We will see you guys when that happens. Thanks for joining us, Louise X Sparrow, Corey Cochran, Rapunzel, Time Prophet. We saw Bree pop in saying hi. Who else do we have? I think we had Dave Gregory show up. We did. So just a whole gang of people, and anyone who didn't comment either. Y'all are nice. Stay cool. Literally, because it's going to be so insanely hot. And yeah, just spend the time inside in the air conditioning watching Avatar. We'll see you for season 3, guys. Thanks. Bye.